If you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, please drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel with your bell notifications turned on. Now let's get into the video. Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a player review of the new Flash Kevin Durant Diamond card that got released yesterday. So in terms of just, if you guys want my quick opinion and then dip out, in terms of how the card is, he's absolutely phenomenal. But let's get into why he is phenomenal. So if we're looking at just a quick look at his stats, 90 driving layup, you know, always good to have a decent driving layup. His post game isn't really the best, but in this, to be honest, if you're using post moves in 2K, you're really playing this game wrong. Mid-range and three-pointer both at 88, free throws in 85, as well as a driving dunk. You guys know I love a good driving dunk. Passing, he's looking at an 86 ball handle. His pass accuracy is 72. That's a bit of a lie in this game. His passing is incredible. His defense is where he kind of lacks in his statistical ability. So 60 block, 35 steal, which a 35 steal, that's weirdly low. That's odd. But if your opponent is making passes and he's in the passing lane, he will snatch them up, no problem. 84 perimeter defense on him as well. His rebounding isn't the greatest, averaging about a 65 for offensive and defensive, which it could be better. 83 speed, 80 speed with ball. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And 89 hustle as well. You do have to get that out. His hustle is really, really good, I'll be honest. If he sees a ball on the floor, he will dive for it with very high velocity. In terms of some decent tendencies, he has a 99 shot tendency, of course, thankfully. 85 driving and flashy dunk with the 80 alley-oop tendency, which is always good. He does have 25 putback tendency. I did notice he does try and do a few putbacks, even though he does have a 25. He does brick pretty much all of them, which is a little annoying. 85 shot mid-range tendency, which his mid-range game is one of the best I have ever seen in this game. And 85 shot 3 tendency as well. In terms of the badges, he does have 2 Hall of Fame badges. He has Green Machine, Tireless Shooter, both Hall of Fame. And then he just does have a few really good badges that are very easily upgradable, and I would highly recommend you do those as soon as you get to this card. Alright guys, so I'm going to take you into a bit of a live gameplay of me doing freestyle, just because it's kind of hard for me to show you guys how good he is without kind of, you know, having a visual demonstration, if that's the correct word. So I'll see you guys, obviously, when we're out of freestyle. Alright boys, so we're in the live section of the review, so it's kind of hard to explain some things in the review when obviously I don't have a actual visual demonstration. So first of all, talking about his release. Now, I've been greening his shots quite consistently in the games I have played with him, and now that I'm in freestyle, of course I can't green any, because that's just how reviews work. It isn't that right. So in terms of his actual shot release, if you used his Amethyst one, you know basically how smooth Durant's release is, and just, I really don't have too much concerns with his release. Like when I'm in game, I'm more like in the zone, so I can more or less green his shot almost every time. Like corners in the corner, he does really well to get a wide open bucket from the 3-pointer. Obviously, I am playing in triple threat because it is probably the hardest mode in the game at the moment, next to maybe limited, but I haven't played limited in a few weeks, so I haven't really touched limited that often because I hate the game mode. But unlimited, you can pretty much hit everything, so that's why I go into triple threat, just to see if I can actually get his release down somewhat. And I'm kind of getting there, but obviously the more practice you get, the better you obviously end up becoming. But man, I can really not green this release anymore, can I? What is wrong with me? Every time I come in freestyle, I can never actually green it. I come in the freestyle to practice the release, and I end up doing worse than it actually in games. Like, how is that a green? Wow, that's just a bad shot. Come on, Durant. Durant! There we go. Alright, now on to actually Durant's dribble moves. If I can get a ball. Someone. There we go. Durant's dribble moves, I do really like. They are is behind the back especially. Like when you're running up the court. So you run up behind the back. Really quick behind the back. Really, really quick. If you can really catch your opponents off guard. Just something I really just love with this card. That was why did he fade there? Like, really? But yeah, also as well, and now I can't do that. You're seeing in some of the clips in the background, obviously, when I'm talking past this. Durant's mid-range, I think, is one of the best in this game as of at the moment. Just even if you don't green it like that consistently, he can get a very consistent mid-range game. So the thing with Durant, obviously, is he's arguably the best shooter of the basketball, or the best scorer of the basketball. Not the best shooter, that's obviously that's Curry. But in terms of the best scorer, he's up there with Jordan being one of the best scorers to ever play basketball, just because he can pretty much make his whole shot. He can just do everything in order to get the ball in the basket. He can drive very easily. Because of his wingspan, he's 7 foot basically, and he has the speed and agility of a god. Like, he's just ridiculous, and that's why everyone was so annoyed when he went to the Warriors, because he was literally like a top 3 player at the time, making already one of the greatest teams ever, just that much better. And it's the same in this game. Just the way that his body works, even though his defensive ratings aren't the best, it doesn't, obviously it makes a difference. But say like you just miss a block, say like he's guarding in the paint for whatever reason, like maybe he's playing TTO. If you're guarding in the paint and you miss a block, just because of how agile he is and just because of how weird his body is and how long his arms are, like how long his wingspan is, he can really get back on the defensive end rather quickly. Obviously, if you're up against, you know, Shaq or something, he might struggle a bit, but even just up against LeBron, Anthony Davis, he can really hold his own. In terms of any nitpicks I have with the card, really no. Obviously, his badges could be a little better, and in terms of his actual speed on the court, he isn't the fastest player. He has about 82 speed with ball. I mean, he is obviously fast, and at this point in the game, that is still a decent speed. But I don't know, it's just when he's running up the court, like say on a fast break, for example, I always seem like he always gets caught. And in TTO especially, right? Even just having a guard on him, like a point guard who's a lot faster than him. Say he has Terrell Brandon on him. Even if he makes slight contact with Terrell Brandon, like when he's driving, that can sometimes mess him up quite badly. So that's only the real nitpick I have. But in terms of how I actually find this card, I think he is the best like small forward you can buy at the moment. Obviously, it's a toss-up between him and Paul Pierce, and maybe Elgin Baylor if you've actually grinded that far. But in terms of like your small forwards that you can buy, I do think he is the best in the game. Alright guys, so just some closing thoughts on this card. So this card at the moment is going for around, 93,000, 94,000, depending on what refresh you get him on, but he is very much a buy now. Is he worth that? I would say absolutely. In terms of if you're looking for a small forward, I think he is the best small forward you can buy on the auction house at the moment. Obviously, if you have Elgin Baylor, if you have Paul Pierce, you may want to look somewhere else if you need a small forward. But I still think he is one of, if not the best small forwards in this game at the moment. So in terms of the grades I've given him, obviously expectation, I try and not take the community's like input in terms of the expectation, because I kind of want to just look at the card and see what my personal expectation for the card is. But there was so much hype around this card when it came out, and as soon as I released it, I was like, oh, okay, he could be insane. He could be insane. So in terms of that, how that grade actually works, it's the number determines how well he lived up to the expectation. That made sense. So if I expect him really high and he performed really bad, he'd probably get a low mark. But I give him a high 10 out of 10 for the expectation, because he pretty much did everything I need him to do. Is Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers of the basketball to ever play the game, and that's how his card plays. In terms of my enjoyment, it's kind of hard to have enjoyment with this game at the moment, but it is still very high at a high 9. In terms of his value as well, he's about 94,000 roughly, which at this point in the game, a buy now for this good of a card, especially when you badge him up. The badges, you can argue, obviously, you may have to pay a little extra to badge him up, but if you have the badges in your actual collection, then it's really no extra skin off your back to actually go badge him up. Especially some of the corner specialist badges. It's just, once you get those, this card is an absolute monster. So in terms of his price, obviously, he's going to keep going down as of more of these packs being opened. But in terms of now, I'd still give it a high 9, just because this card's insane. This card is insane. I would say, guys, in order to make him a full 10 out of 10, I do think he has to have... He does have clamps, obviously, and he does have Deadeye. But if both of them were gold, I would definitely give this card a 10 out of 10. It's just, the badges are so expensive at the moment just to get them. If he gets gold Deadeye as well as gold Limitless Range, you'll be pretty good. But guys, that's it for my review of Kevin Durant. If you guys have enjoyed this review, please drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here. Let me know what you guys think of this new format and whether I should keep going with it. They're fun to do. I remember doing reviews like a long time ago, and they were fun to do. So guys, that's it for the review. If you guys have enjoyed, please drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here. See you guys later, take care, love you all, and peace.